In the name of God, the compassionate, the merciful. Metal has got its own characteristics. It is hard, it is not producing light, it is cold, and it is solid. From the other side, fire has got its own characteristics. It burns, it is very hot, it is not solid, and it produces warmness. Well, put the metal with its own characteristics next to fire with its own characteristics. Say you have a fireplace somewhere and you're putting a piece of rod, a piece of metal, say 30 centimeters away from the fire, and leave it there for 30 minutes, for example. What is going to happen after 30 minutes? You go and you touch that piece of metal, you will see it is no more cold. It is warm, but not warm enough, not hot enough to burn you. But still it is solid and it doesn't produce light. Put this piece of metal, say 2 centimeters next to the fire, and after 30 minutes when you touch, it is not warm only, it can now burn you. Now you can carry on and put this piece of metal into the fire. After 30 minutes, 1 hour, you go there, you will realize that this piece of metal is now red in color, and it is very hot like fire, and it even can produce some light. If you can take this hot rod into a dark room, you will see everywhere is going to be enlightened. Put this piece of metal into the deeps of fire and make the degree of hotness up to say 4,000. And after 30 minutes you come, you will see this piece of metal is now a liquid form, which actually you cannot recognize if it is the same fire or it is something else. What happened here? That piece of metal, by being close to the fire, has lost its own characteristics of being black, being solid, being cold, and not producing light. Now that this piece of metal has been put into the fire, adopted the characteristics of fire, which is hot, which is producing light, and it is not solid anymore. Human beings are not more hard than this piece of metal, and God is not weaker than fire. What happened there? The piece of metal become fire-like. The same way we as human beings, we can become God-like by being close to the fire. Try to be as closest to God as possible, to adopt the characteristics of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Have you thought about this before? Think about it more.